Hello and welcome to Infamous MCP, the audio podcast. This is Brandon, or Mutalis on Discord.
This is Josh, go by Grummelzog on Discord.
And this is CJ, back from an absence. I go by CJ.
I'm very sad. We were on a great run of me not having to name the episodes, and now that's over. Because I was just naming them the missions we were reviewing.
Oh no.
And so I'm going to have to come up with titles again. Okay. So before we were recording, we started talking about Blood Bowl. So we'll just finish up our conversation, basically. For people that don't know, Blood Bowl 3rd edition is now on pre-order from Games Workshop. So it sounds like you two have played Blood Bowl in the past?
I have played the Steam version.
Video game. Okay. So I can't remember which... There's 3 Blood Bowls on Steam. I played the first one. They're all very closely based to the actual rules of the game. There are very few changes. The biggest difference is the user interface and like what teams you're allowed to play with and what versions of those teams you are playing with. So a history lesson, at least this is the way I understand it. I was not, hardcore into Blood Bowl. I just knew a bunch of people that were. I've played in a couple leagues. I've played a handful of pickup games. I played a lot of the video game. But I'm still pretty casual when it comes to Blood Bowl. So around the year 2004, 2006, somewhere in that time frame, Blood Bowl was moving into its 6th edition of the rule set. And so Games Workshop, who has kind of been hands off of the game for a while, basically was talking to some community members, and they basically offered to playtest the new edition and make up all their changes. Because at this time, you need to understand, like, Blood Bowl's changes from edition to edition were like, we cleaned up some wording. Like, it was exactly what you want in a new rule set. They just found some issues, they fixed them, they maybe did some balance tweaks, and they pushed it out. Like, they're not, rewriting the Magna Carta here. Like, it's basic stuff. And so what they were doing was not groundbreaking, right? They were like, hey, now Leap can't be used in this way like it used to be able to. And now you can't combine these 2 skills kind of stuff. So really basic things. And while they were doing that, they write out this whole rulebook, which would be 6th edition rulebook. And when they were doing so, they came up with 3 new teams. There was the Underworlds team, the Slan team, and then I want to say it was Chaos Renegades. The important thing is there's 3 new teams. I know Slan was one. I'm pretty sure Underworlds was one. And it's still based on characters in their universe, but there weren't models out for the team specifically. But that being said, like, most of the teams GW produced were from 20 years prior.
Yeah.
Like, they're ancient models compared to what was currently being played with. So they GW pushes back really hard and says, oh, well, you can't include teams we don't make models for, and you have to make it a core rule that you can only play with GW minis. Because at the time, that was when third-party minis were first starting to become a big thing. So anyway, obviously they couldn't reconcile that, and so the official 6th edition never came out. And then someone accidentally, I'm sure, leaked the 6th ed rulebook that they had built on the internet. So immediately everyone has it, and no one cares that GW didn't like it. So that was the version of the rulebook that was played basically from like the early 2000s until 2016. So we're basically over a decade. The only stewards of the game was the community itself. And most of the Blood Bowl stuff from GW basically went out of production. Then they did the big reboot with a Blood Bowl 2nd edition. I think they called it 2nd season technically, so it's not even an edition. And that's when the new core set came out with the orcs and the humans in plastic. And there was a big rule overhaul when that happened. Then in 2020, they redid the rules again. They added like a passing stat instead of just agility tests. And then they made star players a much bigger part of the game. And now we're looking at going into 3rd ed. So, Josh, you played a little bit. I assume you played orcs.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess that.
Correct.
I got you.
Correct.
Put them in a box.
Yep. And I won a great many games by never scoring. I just beat the shit out of my opponent.
So, as any good orc player will know, you're allowed to have, it's like 2 throwers, 4 black orc blockers, 4 blitzers, and then 1 troll and an amount of goblins. That's irrelevant. And then linemen, obviously. You have up to 16 linemen. Every roster has a lineman character, which is a 0 to 16 option. So GW in their infinite, we'll say greed, when they produced the box set, decided we don't need to give them all 4 Black Orcs and all 4 Blitzers. We'll give them 2 throwers, 2 blockers, 2 blitzers, and not a troll and not goblins. So to play orcs, you technically need to buy 2 of the box sets, that is the complete team. Then you need to buy a troll, which is understandable, right? It's a big guy. It's a lot of people don't even take the troll, and so making everyone pay the $20 or so that would take to put a troll in the box, I get it. That's fine. Not giving any goblins is kind of annoying because then you basically have to go buy the goblin team box, which is like basically a full price team. So you basically have to buy 3 full price team boxes and a $25 troll to have the full roster allotment for your guys, which is frustrating, right? Like that's dumb. Not to mention, like, because when the edition first came out, I want to say they were only charging like $35 for a team box, which is very reasonable. So like asking someone to buy 2 team boxes, it's not the end of the world. $70 for it's like 30 models, even though you can legally only field 16, which is kind of frustrating. It's like you're making them buy these extra linemen instead of giving them the positionals they need. And so then they kind of transitioned to like $50 a box, but they gave you the positionals you needed. And then they went to $50 a box, not giving you the positionals you needed. So now you're spending $100 on a team. It's just really annoying.
I was going to say, because I bought the Dwarf Giant box.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it only came with like 2 blitzers, 2 throwers, and then linemen. Like that's all I have.
Mm-hmm.
And I was curious about that because we didn't get around to playing it yet. I was just like, do I need more? Can I take more?
Yeah, so I don't know the dwarf team specifically. I know it's changed. I think it's changed fairly recently, but so that is a problem, right? If you're buying a team and you're not getting all your players and you have to buy a second box, that's annoying. But it's understandable if the box is at a competitive price. It's like, hey, this is for someone to start the game, so you don't have to go all in. But then if you want to go all in, you have to buy the second box. It's like, okay, that's an acceptable amount. But when you're charging a premium price for the box and then not giving me my positionals, now I'm very annoyed.
Yeah.
And then for dwarves also have a big player guy. They have the Death Roller, which is you have to buy separately. It's really expensive. I think it's only made in Finecast. It's like you're not doing a good job of making this game accessible to players. And admittedly, Blood Bowl is kind of an old boys community where it's like a lot of seasoned players, which is their problem. They need to get fresh blood into the game. And so they realize this. And so they're going to combat this problem. They're going to try and make it to where you don't have to buy multiple boxes to play a team.
That sounds great.
Josh, how do you think they're going to approach that?
They're going to charge me more and add the models in.
Well, the teams are already in production. So like the team boxes are the team boxes.
Oh, they'll reduce
They're
the
not going to
size
rework
of the
all the
teams
teams
for the game.
But they're going to make it to where you get what you need to play with. Yeah, they're going to change the digital roster of the team to be what you can take is what comes in your box. That's
terrible.
This game that has been balanced, it might be good.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like Aaron's got a good point. It's like, hey, you don't know that it's going to be worse. It might be better. And so, but this game that's been balanced around these same team frameworks for the past 25, 30 years is now getting a massive upheaval because they want to unfuck the situation they fucked.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't do like GW sell me a tiny box on the side.
Right, like do an upgrade box.
It comes with the extra guys. It's $20.
Or they could have just done the same thing, just cut out an extra sprue, just sort the guys on a sprue and put one extra sprue in the box and up the price. Like they did that with the Battle Wagon back in the day. It was like $65, and then there was a $15 upgrade sprue, and then they just put it in the box and like charged $80 for it.
Yeah,
it's like, well, let's just not make them have to buy 2 SKUs because everyone buys the Death Roller.
It was fun. I told you my Dwarf Death Roller story, right? For Blood Bowl.
For Blood Bowl, no.
So,
no.
I was looking at getting to Blood Bowl. I like the models. I was like, I played on Steam. Like maybe I'll play it on table. And so I'm going through, and I obviously have a GW account. So I signed up for the whole like email me when it's back in stock. Right?
Oh yes, you did tell me this story.
Where I did that at my old place, which was 3 years ago now. And then I randomly got an email like 4 months ago. It's like, hey, this is back in stock. I was like, holy shit, I forgot I even wanted that.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet it is. Anyway, so I was just very annoyed with their solution to them causing a problem was to create a bigger problem, which is just typical of not just GW, just like companies in general nowadays. It's like, hey, so we made this big mess
Naturally.
up because of our greed, and so we caused this huge problem. So the way we're going to fix it is to create a bigger problem.
That sounds very GW.
No.
Yeah. And again, I not to ream on GW specifically, that's not a solely GW decision process. But yeah. Anyway, let's get back to MCP talks. We got a lot to go over today. So today we will be going through and talking about our ratings of the secure missions, much as we did before with the extracts. So just coming at it, CJ, I would like to propose
did I do
something
it wrong?
to you.
I'm sorry.
You had some very high numbers. I don't know if you were aware of that.
It was like
Your average rating was about 6.6 per out of 10. And so I would just suggest that we just take all your numbers down one.
Cool, I kind of, like I said, most of mine was just I saw your message kind of late, and I was like, oh shit,
which puts you in line with Zach and Josh. Okay. Yeah. No, it's fine. No, I sent out the questionnaire very late. So I am exactly at a perfect 5.0 because I'm the best, even though the actual average should be 5.5 because that's how averages work.
Well, we don't have any.
But I'm always the voice of reason, trying to bring
Josh's
the numbers down to sanity.
things,
So I think it's fair that I'm underrated. All right. Yeah.
It's the best mission.
You guys should have seen Aaron's first list he sent me.
What is this?
Extracts. It was basically like 4 missions were a 10, 4 missions were a 1, and there's like 3 in the middle at 5. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, well, they're unplayably bad, so they're 1s. I'm like,
Aaron
but there's got to be like a curve, man. Come on.
That does sound like a very Aaron. So I love it.
Yes,
I hate it.
It's like, you see these 4 missions? These are the balance missions. Everything else is fucked. Yes, it was very funny. Okay, so
give me a second.
Moving into it, we're going to start off with Cosmic Invasion. I gave this mission a 4. Zach gave this mission a 7.
Do you have the Google thing?
I'll just read it all. Okay. That's fine. Let's read it to everybody. So Brandon gives a 4, Zach gives 7, Josh is 5, CJ is 4, and Aaron is 3, averaging a 4.6. Would you guys like to justify your numbers?
This is one that I don't hate, but I don't love. And it's definitely one where I feel like the gimmick to it is pretty fairly balanced. I tried to keep in mind, Brandon and I talked a lot about like win more, and I don't feel like this is a win more mission because it's evenly just anyone can do it.
I'm kind of down on this one. I think that it's, if I'm not mistaken, the worst D
CJ?
That's in the game by far. Yeah.
I think the play rate would agree with you. I don't know that it's true, but I think the play rate agrees with you.
Yeah, 16's rough.
So my interpretation of this mission is it's a point total I don't enjoy playing 16. It's a D. I don't generally enjoy Ds. I think it's one of the more abusable shapes. It's also by nature
it's slow.
High scoring, being a 4. I know that a lot of people like to think that's average nowadays, but it's not. It's actually below. It's above average. Everyone calm the fuck down and just go back to the times when it wasn't needed to score 5 points per mission every turn. But yeah, it's a little on the high scoring. But the reason I didn't give it a 5, because I actually don't mind this mission, but the reason it doesn't get a 5 for me is the secondary component is too swingy. The fact that you can get a lot of power, you can get pushed out of position. It's never, even though it's fair in practice, it's fair in concept, it's never fair in practice. One player's always getting important models moved over his opponent, or, you're getting power on important models, you're not getting power on important models. It's just too easy for some weird thing to happen, like, oh, my model got pushed into the threat range of your guy while he was holding an extract, and now he's dead, and there's nothing I can do about that. Like, it's a little too swingy. I don't need my secondary effects to be game-altering things. Just, like, little stuff. Like, if it was just you get the power, sure. If it was you lose power, sure. Like,
no, because that's just chaos.
Placing models as a mission component is never a good idea.
The other player should be trying to do that too. You don't need the mission also fucking you in the ass the same way.
Right. Yeah. And again, even for the missions that move your models, this one's pretty minor. You at least know if it's a possible thing that you can get moved. And you can make the decision at some point. It's like, I'm just going to leave the objective because it's not worth me getting pushed. Like, you can make that choice. You can't make that choice with spiders because at the point you have to pick it up, you don't know the game state. But yeah, so it got basically a -1 for me for that secondary component. So I obviously gave it a 4. We averaged 4.6. Moving on, this one's going to be a little bit spicier. Deadline to Destruction. I gave this mission an 8. Zach also gave it an 8. Josh gave it a 5. CJ with a 7, and Aaron also with a 5.
Yeah, I do like to have fun.
So CJ, I see that you also like fun.
It sounds like somebody was forced to drop an extract at some point.
Josh, why don't you like to have fun? Sounds like.
Because
poor Loki. It took like 6 damage.
No, you know what's funny? Is that's exactly it. Is I played one game, and Loki was doing nasty shit, and I had an extract.
Oh, yes!
I think it was you, Brandon. You just kept being like,
it was.
Take a damage.
Would you like to
take a damage?
I also had Juggernaut, so
take
like, I bumped you.
Yeah.
And I was like, also, would you like to drop your extract?
So,
he's like, fuck,
no.
Yeah,
for 3 turns, I was just like, stop, please.
It was fucking great.
But yes, I'm, I don't hate this one. I don't love it. I don't know if I run it myself. It is very, feels like pretty good design for the most part. Like, there's a counterplay to your opponent, like, hey, because obviously, like, not to do too many steps, but you're attacking someone that's holding an objective anyway. So then, maybe you don't kill them and they're on 1, and you just go, hey, drop that. Have fun. Drop that or daze, then you drop it anyway. So
it actually matters because they might not have enough power to pick it up.
Yeah,
after they damage.
I'm very sad they haven't made
more
of missions with the same kind of like theme in it. Like there's like this kind of interaction between the game, because this one feels like a mission that shit happens in, which is cool.
Yeah. Yeah. The funny thing to me is because there's another mission. It is it's one of the blues, but it encourages you to have an extract near the blue. It's like you get a reroll or something. I think it's Guardians, but you get a benefit for having an extract and also being on said secure. And everyone at first glance, it might even be the red that says it, but at first glance, like, oh, this is going to encourage people not to run away. And I'm like, no, that's the opposite. Like, this just means people are going to run away even harder. And then this one, who's supposed to encourage you to run away, actually means that, like, extracts are in the game longer. Because you have to be on the blues, or you're going to lose. And so the turns in which you are trying to gain your victory point lead, you're in more danger than you used to be, and so it actually causes more trades back and forth. It makes the game more interesting. But that being said, I love this mission because it is a high player interaction rate. You have to make a lot of decisions, and it's not as overpowering as people like Nigel will have you believe, where it's like, we play Deadline, so he killed all of my models for free. Like, it's clearly not that. And so it's just funny that he says stuff like that. And so, yeah, I think it puts the game more into me versus you instead of me versus the game, which is anytime that happens, I'm very happy. Yes. I want to play my opponent, not play the mission we drew. All right, next up, we are at... okay, so Parker just put in his numbers. I guess we'll go ahead and accept them.
I assume they're really madness. Utter madness.
Okay, so to catch everyone up, he gave Cosmic Invasion a 6, which was higher than average by a noticeable amount.
By far.
He gave Deadline a 9, so a little bit of sanity there, although he is still the highest. Alright, so we're going to move into Deadly Meteors. That, by the way, ended up giving Deadline an average of 7.0. Alright, so Deadly Meteors, I gave it a 5. Zach gave it a 4. Josh gave it a 6. CJ a 4. Parker a 7. And Aaron a 9. For an average value of 5.83. Okay.
This is amongst the least worst of the beta flips.
I can confidently say it is among the best beta flips.
Yes. I run this one quite often because I like the setup. The mission gimmick doesn't feel bad. Like, you roll a skull, take a damage. That's not nut busting. It is still pay to flip, but I run this one fairly often, so I'm a fan. I think it's fairly well designed. Outside of the issues with pay to flips,
it's probably my least favorite pay to flip. It's not the mechanics of it aren't bad. Yeah, I like Macron and Mutant Madman better, I think.
Really?
But yeah, no, it's just I couldn't tell you what times I've been ass fucked and not flipping it and rolling a skull. That's a bad feeling.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's fair to rate a true pay to flip above a 5. I just don't think pay to flips are good game design. I
agree.
Don't think it's a terrible concept. I don't think they found the right place. I know everyone says, "Oh, you just get the ones that are uncontested." I don't think that works. This one it could work on because it's so bunched up, but I just don't see pay to flips being good game design. It is so game wrecking to get a couple strings of bad luck, and before people say it's like, well, bad luck is going to lose you games, like, no, like, this is an amount of luck that's very expectable inside of a game. Like, just roll some d8s every once in a while. It's like you get strings, and like, it's not uncommon that you'll miss 3, maybe even 4 in a row if you're needing 2 hits, and it's just like, man, that is backbreaking in a game. And it's nothing you did to cause this to happen. It's nothing your opponent did to cause it to happen. It's just simply the way the game is supposed to be working, and one player is advantaged. And I don't like that. I think the damage is a bit much for a secondary effect that where you're forced to engage with it. It's not that big of a deal, so it's kind of okay. But I do think this is one of my favorite pay to flips. Okay, that finalized at a 5.83. Moving on, we have Guardian Save Shi'ar Empress in Style. I gave this a 4, Zach a 4, Josh a 6, CJ a 4, Parker a 3, and Aaron a 5, for an average of 4.33. This is another, pseudo pay to flip, I want to say.
Basically, yeah.
Yes. But no, this is an actual pay to flip. So it's kind of a scrunched in B where they're kind of closer to the center than they would normally be, but they're same distance forward. And it's just simply roll 3 dice. And then if you're holding an extract, you may reroll one of the dice.
The secondary effect is basically a nothing burger. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. It will come up, but it's not game impacting.
So I put it a little higher, put a 6, right? Because of the secondary, just because to me, with the scrunched in, it does encourage you to play a little more aggressive. And I can move over to my opponents and be like, 3 dice, I probably just need to get 2, I'm rerolling 1, like, maybe I do this. Maybe I was going to go fight you there anyway, so...
Right, so that's kind of my question. Does it really impact how you play? Do you look at it and go, okay, I need to take my objective holder and move over across from myself and contest their secures and try and overflip them with my objectives? Because I think Aaron would say that's the worst idea he's ever heard.
I agree. It's not probably a good idea.
Okay.
But just as a whole of what it does.
Yeah. Obviously, it's nice to try and hold your own points, counter flip people that are moving up and trying to flip over you. But yeah, it's a pretty minor. I like the secondary effect actually. I don't hate it at all. I just don't think it affects play is the problem. And that's fine. I don't want my secondary effects on my secures to noticeably affect the game state.
Yeah.
But I don't like pay to flips.
I don't like pay. If every pay to flip had the sword / Imcron rule, I would
the free overflip, the uncontested flip.
You just get it. I'm okay with it.
I don't think it works. I think if you played every pay to flip that way, you'd have a bad time. It's because it just turns into a rally race. Everyone just runs laps because you have no other choice. You lose the game if you don't.
Maybe, but it also I've lost games just because I failed the roll on turn 1.
You're not wrong. That's why pay to flip's bad to game design.
You're also correct with that.
If it just said uncontested on the first turn, I'm with you.
Okay,
I'm with you.
Yeah, I could do it. Little caveat.
But on consecutive turns, it just turns into a rally race. The first person runs away. You have no choice but to follow them. Okay, so that's going to leave this at, like I said, 4.33. Moving on to Infinity Formula. This is going to get spicy.
Ooh.
I gave this a 5. I'm the only smart person here, obviously. Zach gave this an 8.
Parker gave it a 2?
Gave it an 8. CJ a 6. Parker gave it a 2. And Aaron gave it a 3. Aaron gave it a 3.
What?
Boy, this has got us coming and going.
That's Parker. When you listen to this, that's fucking wild. That's crazy. That's crazy to me.
I would love to hear his justification. I expect it to be I flipped a coin though, so I don't know if it's going to be a good conversation.
Mortal comprehension. He'll be like, the Infinity Reformers, the +1 power one?
He'll say something like, oh, this is the mission I thought it was. Like something just completely asinine. Yeah. Well, never mind, it's a 10. Alright. So, clearly I'm correct in giving this a 5. It's in the middle.
Mathematically, yeah.
I didn't know people hated
I never had any idea
That's
people felt so strongly about Infinity Formula.
I really like Infinity Formula.
Alright, Josh, tell me why this is in the top, 3 or 4 missions in the entire game.
More power means more bashing, means more fun. For me, anyway. It feels good to, put people on points and let them soak up some power and then go ham somewhere. That's why I like it. I like that. This is not a D. This is a B.
Yes.
I like
the B.
I like the layout as well. So
okay.
Now I will agree I rate it high. There are some weaknesses on it.
So I'm just going to ask that when you rate these, try not to rate them with I want to play Asgard on this mission in mind.
But that's the only thing.
Try to rate it from a vacuum.
Good.
Because obviously your model's wanting extra power and charging from B to B is a separate thing.
I do one thing and I do it well.
Exactly.
But yes.
So I get it. Like the thing you like playing the most is good on this mission.
I can make an argument towards that a little bit.
But is it in a vacuum?
The reason I rated it so high is that when you look at the card and trying to figure out what the fuck this mission does, it is a single sentence. That's why I rated it high. This is the easiest mission to play because you just be like,
that is nice.
During the power phase, characters contesting a serum gain 1. Great. What's the one that we were playing wrong for a long time? The extract that was all... Well, I can't remember what the fuck that one is. But yeah, which one's better to play? Clearly Infinity.
Oh, God.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no questions.
I mean, it's been effectively unchanged for.
Yeah, I could get down on it being a 5. I think this is the most
hard to
middle
say
of the
it's bad, right?
Basic, secure, but that's actually what makes it good.
Yeah. This is it's great in its simplicity for sure, but I do want a little bit more of my missions. I don't think Bs are great deployments. I think they tend to encourage little to no interaction because there's not a lot of reason for me to come across the table. And if you do, if you get put into a bad spot, for example, let's say you're playing Montesi Formula and your opponent has a safe grabber. So they're just going to take the middle. You lost prio. Nothing you can do about this. You're just down a point. And so you're playing Montesi on a B. So there's 7 points available. Your opponent gets 4 of them. What do you do about that? Well, I have to cross the table. So I'm going to send all of my actions getting to my opponent just to stand there and let him beat on me. And he's been getting extra power this whole time. And so if I don't send everybody, I'm just going to lose said fights and then give them all my stuff for free anyway. So you kind of just put you in this, I have to fully commit. I have to full send everything to have a shot. And the reason I am forced into this situation, and it's not a choice I'm making, is totally due to randomness. So I don't like these missions because it creates that play state a lot. But, like I said, I give this a 5. I don't think it's a bad mission. I think it's a good mission as compare everything to this, and this will give you a good idea of if your mission is good or not. If Infinity is better than your mission sucks. If it is worse than your mission's probably good.
I will also 100% agree on it's a very, just because of deployment, kind of list splitty, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not deploying evenly. I'm kind of cluster, push the clusters forward, see what happens.
Yeah. And most people will know this, they're experienced players, but B is the most spread out mission by far. Because the D missions are the diamonds. There's 2 points on the center line that everyone's going to congregate to. The Fs are actually closer, the outside Fs are closer together than the Bs. And there's a point in the middle. So the distance from point to point is actually very small in comparison. Bs, if you're a small base speed long, you can't even cross from one friendly B to another in one turn. you need a movement ability to get there.
Yeah.
Like, a long mover double moving can't even cross the gap. That is really fucking far apart. Anyway, let's move on to our next one today. We have Intrusions open across city as seals collapse. This is going to be fun. So I have 7, Zach with an 8, Josh with an 8, CJ with a 7.
Hell yeah.
Parker with a 5. Come on, Parker. And Aaron with a 9.
Aaron likes to have fun.
Seeing Aaron give this a 9 really surprised me. Aaron does like to have fun. So, I think I would have probably given this an 8, except I recognize it's good for particular teams. And having one mission just because it's good for the teams I like doesn't mean it's a good mission. And so I tempered my expectations a little bit and brought it down to a 7. I think this is a really interesting mission. There's a lot of intricate back and forth decision-making processes. What your opponent does is going to influence what you do constantly. It has a good secondary effect of you can't transport with an extract. So it makes you make a lot of hard choices. If you want to play really safe and hold on to all your points, then you're not mobile, your opponent is. And so it's like an opposite. It's a really big rubber band mechanic. Because whoever has the fewest number of extracts is naturally more mobile than the other person. And if they move away to stay out of that mobility bubble, they're now not scoring as many points. And so it can really force you to look at the game and take a really hard look at your strategy and maybe play differently, which I like.
So that was pretty much going to be my point as well, is this mission is fun. It forces you to make a lot of hard decisions. Dear listeners, I'm sure each and every one of you has had a game where you're like, I have to get this roll. And it doesn't happen, and you're just like,
yeah,
okay, so I need to completely rewrite my strategy right now.
Yeah.
Or, it's like, cool, I jump through, get the wrong one, jump through again, fail both, and then, like, you spent 2 power for your opponent to just look at you and go, hey, what are you going to do now?
Cool story,
yeah, what are you going to do now? And that's fun. That's a good thing. And it's 3 points, so it's very tame, slows the game down, forces people to actually interact with each other because it's in a straight line in the middle, and I like pretty much everything about it. So,
this was my almost highest rated one. Intrusions is my favorite mission to play on, most likely. Like, if any, Intrusions is it's a fighting mission. There's things that kind of like not being able to always place kind of makes it part of the game. But I also remember the dark times when, like, Thanos, you'd play into fucking Thanos into this, and it just meant Thanos could actually be anywhere on the board, which is kind of a bummer. Correct.
It did,
but it didn't stop him from teleporting to clap your cheeks. So I played it wasn't a mini games. I think I played one of the very first times I played Jeremy. Actually, he's like, "Have you seen Thanos on this mission? It's crazy." I'm like, "It should be all right." And then he fucking moved up. What did he's like? I was like, "You can't." I didn't even think about Thanos being able to get to my back line. he tapped my leader in the first round because Thanos moved, space portal moved. Mm-hmm. Had another stone, moved up, and then blasted me, and I was like, "Oh, this is bad." He's like, "This is bad," and then he won because Thanos.
I don't know how it works out this way, but I think the odds of failing the second roll
feels that way
90%. I know the math doesn't support this, but every game I've played, if you fail the first roll and your opponent puts you somewhere, the odds of you failing the second roll is at least 90%, if not higher.
Most of the time, I just want him to do it. Yeah. I'm just like, this is game state now. We're gonna figure it out from here.
Yeah, I got halfway there. We're gonna figure it out. Yeah, it is such, because as soon as you fail the first one, you're like, not again, because it always happens. It's always the second one you fail too. But I love it. It's the math behind it is so strong because it's a 5 and 8 times 2, and so it's so likely to happen. Oh man, but yeah, super fun. This gave us a total average of 7.33. Spoiler: that's gonna be tough to beat. Moving on to our next mission. Mayor Fisk vows to find missing witnesses. I gave this an 8. Zach gave it a 5.
What?
Josh a 6. CJ a 3. Parker,
Poisoning the well.
10. Thanks, Parker. Aaron, a 3. What the fuck? Yeah, I know, right? Okay. I think this is my favorite mission, conceptually. It is not my favorite mission to play. I would rather play several other missions. But I'm never afraid to play this mission. Because I think it is a true, like, even playing ground for anybody. I've played Webs on this. I've played Criminals on this. I've played, Brotherhood. I've played, Black Order on this mission. I've played every team basically I've ever played on this mission. And I'm never afraid of it. Which is a good sign because that means that everyone has a play into this mission.
Yes. Mayor Fisk is an interesting one. I think in our review, Brandon, we talked about just how many layers this missions has. There's so much like, am I going to score it? Am I going to never let my opponent score it? Am I going to wait till the last turn and try to score 4 points to sneak a victory? It's not a 10. It's not what Parker said, but it is very good.
I appreciate him offsetting Aaron, but
yes.
So this mission got an 8 and a 10 rating, and its average is 5.8. That's crazy.
I both like and hate this mission at the same time. I like it because I think it's an interesting mission to play. I hate it because it's one of those missions where you could optimize for, I think. I think so.
You think you can optimize for it?
It's easy. You just splash the Hulk in your roster.
How would you optimize for it?
Best thing to play, Mayor Fisk. I think Hulk wins half of the mission.
You think
Hulk
just wins
basically.
The mission?
I mean, he's immune to stun, right? It's a little bit. I mean,
that doesn't matter. He's gonna get. So him being immune to stun, I don't think matters because if you're fighting over the point, he's gonna have all the power he wants anyway. Because he's gonna be taking a bunch of damage, he's gonna be making a bunch of attacks. He's not gonna spend enough to off-put his game, so he's gonna end up.
I don't know.
Like that's just kind of how it's gonna work. He can spend power. He doesn't spend crazy power, right? So in my experience, this mission always comes down to reps. Like once you get a lot of reps with this mission, people start liking it a lot. But if you don't choose to play it, you play it less, obviously, and therefore you enjoy it less. At least that's been my experience.
It could also be I have a terrible memory of playing this mission into Parker once, and it's not because we played it like the right way, I guess.
That's probably true.
Both of us didn't want to score it, because I don't think anyone scored it for like the entire game, basically. Because I looked at he was playing like Avengers, and I was like, oh shit, okay, I know what he's bringing. He's gonna bring because in my head I was like, oh, Hulk, Wolverine, Luke Cage, Cap 1. This is windmill slam into this match. And then he brought the bunker thing he used to do with Black Panther, Cable, Zemo, and Cap. And I played X-Force because I was just like, I'll kill Hulk. We'll be cruising. And it was just this weird like chess match almost of like, okay, we got to wait for somebody to move out of position because back then X-Force had 0 displacement and still kind of does. Yeah, and I couldn't roll it. I did not have enough dice in me to break through that, and that's how I lost the game.
Yeah. And like Josh has seen plays like this too. It's like sometimes the play is you wait for the last activation and move your guy off the point so that they score it. And then you get to place it and break up their bubble.
Layers. It has so many layers.
Yeah, it has layers. There's always a counterplay. But it is an abstract mission, which is obviously the reason I love it. All right, so we'll move on to our next one. We have Imkron Crystal Gets Heroes Home. Starting with me, we have 5. Zach is 5. Josh is 9. CJ is 8.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead and give Aaron's number, which is also an 8.
You skipped a number.
And then the average, which is 6.1.
2.
What would you like to guess if Parker gave this mission?
Parker never gives a 5.
3.
He gave it a 2. He gave it a 2. Oh my God. Parker never gives a 5. He did give 1 5, and it was
the most not 5 mission ever.
Okay, so so if we were to throw out Parker's 2, it has an average of 7. Okay, so
love Mcron.
I only gave it a 5. I think you guys are fucking crazy. But Josh, tell me why you gave it a 9.
So first off, it's a pay to flip. That's not a pay to flip. It's fair.
It is a pay to flip.
It is.
It literally is a pay to flip.
But it's a fair pay to flip.
It's not
We're
fair.
all made equal under Mcron. And then I really like the deployment.
I do like the deployment.
Towards the end, I think I was putting sword in every single list I played. Sword went away. This is my new sword. I like it nearby. It creates a lot of interactivity between the teams because it's so close. And then I like the little side thing, the little gain of power for holding an extract near it, because I think it's not game busting, but it does incentivize you to be near an extract, and that means I can now reach you, as opposed to you going, I'm sitting in a corner, woohoo, like, cool.
I get to play some of my favorite models on this mission, and they do well. That's why I like it. That's why I scored it high. But in practicality-wise, I think that this mission is... what was the other one I ranked pretty high? Intrusions. I think this mission is very similar to Intrusions because it's close by and it causes you to have to do stuff. You can't really run. It kind of has the same problem. You can kind of like run around the whole thing and flip all of them. But your opponent's not going to be on the other side of the board when you do that. He'll be right next to you probably. The 19 threat also, we haven't been talking about threat a whole lot. I think 19 threat is a good sweet spot for the game. I like 19 threat generally. So, I got a couple pluses. I would really like it if... I don't know. I do agree. Technically, I think pay to flips need to be looked at when it comes down to rolling to see if you control it. There needs to be something else we can do, like a threat thing. Like if you have more threat than your opponent, there you just get it.
Yeah, I've thought about that a lot. I can't think of anything that works in every situation, which is I think why pay to flips in such an awkward state right now. I just don't think it works. I don't think I think conceptually it's cool. There are so many varied situations that come up in the game that it can be incredibly impactful, and there's just no way to interact with it. Obviously, you're just gonna pull the lottery lever, right, and just hope. We've brought up like, hey, what if you could just interact multiple times, as long as you have power on a pay to flip specifically.
Yeah.
Just keep pulling the lever, but that's not fair if you just have a bunch of power. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff you could do, but anything that gets anywhere close to fair gets really wordy. And so it's really hard to put on a mission card and have it be clear as to how it works. The reason I only gave this a 5, which is the highest I rated any pay to flip mission, is that it's a pay to flip, right? And so it is probably my favorite pay to flip. It's not even close. It is definitely my favorite pay to flip. The reason that it didn't get higher, because this is the only one that could have got higher than a 5, is that there are a lot of models in the game that can abuse this specific layout on a pay to flip scenario. Like Red Skull can potentially perform, what is it? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 interactions in one activation. It's like, and they're all 50-50 overflips, like at worst. It's like, how are you supposed to deal with that if your opponent just knows how to set it up? Even if you kill the guy, he still gets 5 interactions.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so you just win this mission every round. Like, and so the fact that stuff is abusable and works, not to mention, like, there's characters like Thanos, a bunch of people have huge amounts of board control. Like, Peter Parker 1 can automatically basically overflip 3 of them with enough power. There's nothing you can do about it. He's getting 3 of them. Like, sure. Like, nobody plays them on that mission, but it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And not to mention, like, you'll just still get the overflips. Like, you'll get running coin flips and get a huge advantage. It's like, oh, look, I score 3-1 when you probably should have been 1-3, but I just hit, like, 3 straight flips. I know that's part of the mission, but, like, sometimes you can't do anything to give away priority. Like, it just doesn't work out that way with your squad sizes. And so it's like, your opponent getting to go last is a huge factor in this. When every character in the game can interact with 3 of the points. I guess not a small short, but there's not 2 of them. It's Crossbones and Mysterio can't do it.
Yeah. Mag.
But yeah, affect anyone. No, you can't build a team of people where you don't have at least one model that can interact with 3 points.
Magneto is small short.
It's medium short.
It's medium short.
Which, admittedly, it's easy to block, but there is a way to get to 3 of them with a medium short. Okay. So yeah, ended with a 6.17. Moving on to Mutant Madman turns City Center into Lethal Amusement Park. Best mission name, not best mission. So I gave this a 4. Zach gave it a 4. Josh gave it a 3. CJ gave it a 7. Pause.
I'd like to amend my vote.
Parker gave it a 2, and Aaron gave it a 5.
So
CJ,
so like I said,
why are you insane?
Yeah, so I was already like,
it's a pay to flip.
Just rating it so high. This is honestly for me. You could probably change my vote down to like a 5. I think as pay to flips go, this is one of the least bad ones. It's probably the least. Besides Macron, it's probably the least bad one. I think that the effect is mitigatable. I think that the B deployment's fine. It doesn't really excite me. I used to play it a bunch in X-Men because I could abuse first class with it pretty well. But like other than that though, it's just fine. 18 threat's cool. I think it's the only 18 threat in the game right now, which is weird.
So I think it's crazy to me that Mutant Madman is currently arguably the worst pay to flip in the game.
Oh, how it flipped around like
that. And
at
one point it was by far the best pay to flip in the game. I think that says a lot about how they've been trying to make pay to flips better. And so I think they definitely get credit for trying. So this is our lowest rating so far with a 3.83.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. No, it's fine. No, I lowered your score. So for me, the biggest thing is the deployment by far. 18's fine. The pay to flip mechanic on this one's honestly fine. It's not the best, but there's enough people for physical you can at least try to swing it a little bit heavier. The problem I have is it's on a B, which is the most spread out mission deployment we just talked about. But in addition to that, you're punished for trying and failing. So let's say I take my guy, double move him to your side. I try and overflip 2 people. I need 3 hits. Don't get it. Even though I had 4 dice, like that's very acceptable. But then I get damaged for trying, and so it's even easier for them to just kill me. And it's like, that's so annoying.
So I find that interesting, Brandon, because I scored it lower because it felt like a win more, and that if I go over,
it is a win more,
and flip your point, not only do I have that point, but I'm going to ding you for a damage.
Yeah, it's bad both ways. It's just more bad.
And I was like,
well,
I don't like that. Like, I don't want that to happen.
Like, let's just think about it. I was like, all right, so I'm going to take my lizard, who's supposed to be a really robust model, double move to your side, have an advantage roll, but still fail it. And then you're going to do an auto point of damage to me after my healing factor goes off. And so it's like, I'm just at like lower hit points. It's like, this is super fucking annoying. It vastly increases the odds of you dying. At least to a 1v1. And then also, like, what are you supposed to do? Like, that's my only play is to move over and try and take your point. And so, yeah, I just think it puts you in a box, and I don't think the box works for either way, like, according to Josh. So, I think it's a fine mission as far as, like, it's not apocalyptically bad or anything. It's just lacking in, like, fair play and interesting play. Like, it's just not good. All right, moving on to Riot's Spark over Extremis 3.0. Starting with me, I give it a 5, Zach a 5, Josh a 7, CJ a 7. This just shows me that you're both wrong. Parker gave it a 7.
Solidarity.
And Aaron gave it a 5.
Now I question my 7.
Team, are you on Team Aaron or Team Parker? I'm just asking.
That's how it works.
I'd leave the team I formed. So anyway, we gave this an overall rating of 7 because 3 of us gave it 5, 3 of us gave it 7. So I think this mission is the best D by far.
Yeah.
It is a really good 17 threat mission. It's a fun, interesting attrition mission. It's a fun, interesting scenario mission. The time it's not fun is when it's a scenario versus attrition team mission. And that's when I think it falls apart. It is way too abusable by heavy scenario teams when your opponent's not also playing scenario. And for the same reason that I limited my rating on intrusions, I gave this a lower rating than I thought it deserved because it has objectively bad meta implications.
I would agree with that. I think I rated it higher just because of the deployment, and then also it's very simple. I don't need to read a book to play it. Obviously, it's going to favor some people. Like, you guys played this in your Hellfire list. Wasn't this like the one you wanted to play every single time?
No, it was Deadline.
Okay.
Deadline's the one we want to play every time.
Yes. But this is going to favor, but I like the let's go fight on the midline. And then I've had a great many games where I sit a long grouper or someone on my back point, and I just wait until they move off of their back point, double move, rotate someone back to mine, and score a sneaky like extra 2 points. That doesn't happen very often, but it does make you think. So, and I've also lost a great many games because I was like, Hawkeye's sitting on my back point. No one will ever come get Hawkeye. And then next thing I know, Ghost Rider's just like, hey man. I was like,
Hawkeye.
I should have planned better. Should have thought. Yeah, I should.
Did you ever play against Webs when Advanced R&D was still around?
Exists.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
The turn 1 play of like Gwen, last activation, walks forward, web blinds, kicks you, walks to the point you were on. It's like, it was so bad. Yeah, it's like, I'm going to move you off and take the point, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I get to attack you. Like, I might even just fucking kill you. Yeah, it was so brutal. We're clearly of two minds on this, so that's fine. I do think overall the mission is fine. It's just abusable by, I think, the most, oppressive style of list, and so I think it's just too good for them. But the mission itself is fine. In a vacuum, I don't think there's anything wrong with this.
This is a fine mission.
Yeah, if you're both doing the same thing, it's fine. And so if you're both playing scenario teams, I don't think this is a great mission. Everyone's going to like it. I've seen lots of Webs versus Criminals games that are really interesting on this.
When you're the other side of it.
Not fun when you're like, I'm playing fucking Brotherhood. Yeah, it's like I'm playing Brotherhood and we're playing a fucking
Juggernaut,
like,
so
stupid.
So far away.
Yeah. Like this mission single-handedly remove A-Force from the game. Like, just you don't play. Yeah. But the mechanic, if you just didn't tell them it was deployment D, they would not even think that this mission could ever be bad for them. Like, if this was an E and it was just like run at the opponent, like they would be amazing.
Fuck yes,
right?
I'd play that every single time.
And so and just like the next mission we're about to talk about, it just shows you like deployment is the most important part of any mission. All right, moving on to the next one. Spoiler: this is our lowest rated mission. Super powered scoundrels form Sinister Syndicate. Again, I wish we were rating the name because it would be a much higher score. I gave this a 2. Zach gave it a 3. Josh gave it a 1. CJ gave it a 6.
Okay.
Parker gave it a 1. Aaron gave it a 5. For an overall rating of a 3.
I feel like CJ has to do it because
he does.
Generally, I'm like you have an opinion. You're entitled to opinion, but your opinion can't be wrong. That's a thing that can exist.
One sentence rules.
Yeah.
2. High threat.
Okay.
Threat 20, that's great. Threat 20 is a fun game. You can bring all your toys.
I'm fine with Threat 20.
I'm
doing fine.
Interesting. The cover is maybe too strong. A guaranteed block into like shitty scenario teams that have a lot of defense kind of feels bad that they automatically have one and they get a reroll and all the other shit. Playing into like Kingpin or Hellfire sucked a whole lot. But I think as a mission itself on a design standpoint, like we were just talking about, I think this is a perfectly fine mission if you're playing the same game as your opponent.
I do think that is fair. I think much like Riots, this mission has the same problem where if you're talking about we're playing different strategies, this one is just 10 times worse. If you're playing attrition versus a scenario team, you have lost the game. And I'm sure there are times that you win, and I just don't think those times are as numerous as people believe. Also, I've just seen so many players basically quit the game over this mission because they just like, so what was I supposed to do? It's like draw a different mission. Like, why you shouldn't have played this? Like this mission lost you this game.
I think that's just a flaw overall with the game itself, though, is that sometimes you draw a mission and you're like, well, fuck, I have absolutely nothing to do here.
Josh, you want to say something?
Yes. So I was going to say this mission single-handedly kickstarted my Asgardian criminal list because I went, what if I cheated and played Kingpin, so I'm always going to have my points, and then I just made it so you could never be on those points because I will throw you away. That is the only time I've ever had fun on that mission where I was just like, I win. Like, we rolled it, we got in, I was like, I've got this. Like, there's nothing. If anything, I might rub some salt in the wound and charge to your back line. Cool, that I count as 2. You only put one person there. Now I'm scoring 4 points. Like, there was nothing you could do. So, I feel like this is a very feasible mission. I like the 20 threat, but you can just break this mission and just watch.
It's very,
you can just
very
watch
abusive,
the light die in your opponent's eyes because you're like, I came with a plan, did you?
Right.
Best of luck.
So, in talking about, like I just said earlier, I think the most important thing of any mission is deployment. We just turned this into the Meteors mission. It's fine. Turn it into the Guardians mission or the Imkron mission. It's fine.
Agreed.
It cannot be an F. And there's a reason I know that. Guess how many other F missions there are that are blue?
0.
There are no other 5-point secures for a fucking obvious reason. This is the day they spoiled it. I said, "Is like I'm going to quit the game over this mission." I know it, and it's been a hard struggle. I basically just don't play missions. Like when we pull this mission, I just mentally check out if it's a bad matchup. It's like I have no interest in actually playing this out. It's like you cannot. It's just too many fucking points. Like you can't have 11 fucking victory points on the table. It's just too many. It's like you're playing the wrong fucking game. Yeah, it's like I played a game against one of our locals, Josh, and I think it was like the day he decided to not play MCP seriously anymore. It was just like I was playtesting webs for WTC, so like I had a reason I was playtesting like a scenario team. But like we pulled this, and it was just like the game and like it was 15-2 at the end of turn 2. It was just like, what are we doing? Like, this is fucking stupid. Yeah. I really dislike it. And I think the reason it's tempered a bit is because you don't see people playing the heavy board controllers in webs anymore. It used to be really popular before the like Black Cat came out. But now that they have all the stealers, they kind of focus on that strategy more. But it doesn't mean you can't play, movers. Like I was running Peter 1 and Shuri and Gwen, and it's really easy to just take over a map. And you also don't have to worry about the criminal matchup, which is one of their like natural predators. It isn't when you play board movers. Anyway, I know I've talked a million times about this mission. I love everything about it except that it's an F. Make it any other deployment. Make it a D. I'm fine with a D. Just not an F.
Yeah, if you could take the center point out of it, it'd be way better.
Yeah. There's a lot of it just literally an F. Okay, the only thing that'd be worse is obviously the senator's deployment. But it's like, just don't make it 5 points. I don't even care the shape of it. Just make the maximum number of points you can score as 3, and I'm fine. Leave the deployment the same. Leave the 5 points on the ground. I like the fact that it gives cover, but you can only score 3. And I don't care. You can end up 3-0 at the end of the round. I don't give a fuck. Like, it's not that I need points. It's that I need my opponent to not score 4 or 5. Like, the fact that you have to defend 5 points is stupid. Like, most teams, if you pull 16 points, can't even effectively put 5 people on the fucking table. And you're supposed to defend 5 points? It's like, are you serious? Every single displacement your opponent has, or days they achieve, is a victory point lost? Like, are you crazy?
The main abuser that does this. Like, webs can build, like, how many webs can be fucking, 7 wide at 20 now, or some stupid shit?
They were 7 wide at 18 before.
Yeah.
If you bring 2s, yeah. They just now have an affiliated. They can get to 7 wide, I think, at 18 or 17 points now. But you're, like, selling out. Like, you have a bunch of 2s.
When you're scoring 7 points around.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters if your opponent will kill you fast enough.
Mm-hmm. It matters a little bit because you fall off hard when all your guys get dazed in the same round. But yes, it is still relevant. If you still get your 9-point package for your core, like your Black Cat, Gwen, Miles, and then you can just fill out 4 other 2s, that's 17 points, right? And so you do Spider Pig and 3 2s. You do Shuri, Toad, and Wong. Yeah. 7 wide at 17.
Shuri's a 3, I thought.
You've got... I'm sorry, I meant Okoye. I said the wrong name. Thank you for catching me. So yeah, you've got your 3, or you can also take Black Widow instead of Okoye. She's also very good on scenario play. And now having Wong back in the list opens up a lot of turn 1 plays that weren't available before. Like I said a moment ago with the Gwen turn 1, like the last activation turn 1, she's going to move webline, kick, move again, and so she's just going to guarantee you win one side. And you have, so many fucking models that you can just take the other. So yeah, you don't even need to worry about hitting impact weapons. She's like, I just go wet blind on the first turn. Anyway, I think this mission is very problematic. If Researcher was worthy getting banned, this mission has no business being in the game.
Agreed. Yeah, for the same reason too. They're like, oh, Researcher favors webs are bad at.
It's the exact same reason.
So it gets banned, but webs are good at scoundrels.
Except with Researcher, the format of your list did not make you good at Researcher. It was the archetype of your list. If you were a very tall list, you were good at Researcher. Not just being attrition based. Scenario based teams in general want to play scoundrels. Like, it doesn't matter. It's like more points, more better. They don't give a fuck. And every scenario team wants cover. Like, it is objectively good for every scenario team. Even in a scenario off, it's still likely good for both of them.
It's one of the same things. It's old design philosophy where they're like, well, scenario teams like this, so we need to give a scenario benefit to it. Like, a scenario team would want to needs a benefit around this. The benefit of this is 5 wide at 20 threat. That's the benefit for scenario teams. It needs to have some sort of downside. Like, I don't know. If instead of giving cover, it like forced you to reroll a success or something, because like
it made you drop your extract at the start of the round.
Crazy like that, but like, you know.
I think that'd be hilarious, especially just every round everyone drops everything and you have to start from scratch and you just like scrambling to pick them up every turn.
What they do to fix Sin's leadership, probably.
Yeah, that'd still be fun actually, because again you'd be making it's like, do I want to try and kill you or do I want to go pick up this point?
4 health later.
Okay, let's get the last one done. We have Wedding Party targeted in terrible attack. Everything I like about Mayor Fisk still exists in this mission. I think they're just too far apart. I think the community is correct in that they're just too far apart. I'm worried that it creates too many like refuse flank scenarios that are not interesting. That being said, I should probably play it more. It's just not. I haven't had a reason to play it.
What did we rate him?
That's a good point. Wedding Party, I gave it a 3. Zach gave it a 9. Josh gave it a 3. CJ gave it a 4. Parker gave it a 4. And Aaron gave it a 5. Which means there's only one person that's objectively incorrect, and it's CJ for agreeing with Parker.
I said I gave it a 4.
Yes, so did Parker.
Add my point back.
Zach giving a 9 is more defendable than you giving it a 4.
I want to agree with Aaron.
Yeah.
Okay. No, you're still over on points. Even after we dropped your number down earlier, you're still a 4.2 or 5.4, which is you're actually the closest average after adjusting it. You and Aaron are actually tied. Okay, so that gives us an average rating of 4.67.
After our talk, I pretty much agree with all the points we made, Brandon. It's just too far apart. It encourages bunching up, and I think it encourages... I don't want to say it encourages kaiju models, but like, I'll make a bunker and I'll just send something terrible over your way to try and break your bunker, and that's not super interesting. It needed to have, you lose 2 points or something. It needed to really have some reason to do it.
Wedding Party, they could have done it to where they automatically attract towards each other. Like, you move it to range 2 towards the other point. Like, that could have been interesting. And that way, just over the course of the game, they come together and it creates like a free-for-all in the middle. Like, that could have been interesting. But I think as is, I think there's just too many teams that just want to not fight for as long as possible. And so you'll get your, inhuman weapons on Wedding Party sometime. And it'll be like, we each get 2 extracts and then we stand on our blue and don't move towards each other because why would we? And so your opponent will move yours towards them and you'll move theirs away from you. And then you'll just stare at each other.
Yeah, like I said, just makes a bunker that's gross.
Which, by the way, is exactly why you should never use victory points as a tiebreaker, because that mission, if you actually pull that and both players refuse flank, you could easily score to 100 inside an hour.
Yeah.
Because you're each scoring 4 points a round. And so the rules are you keep playing until it's not a tie. Well, we have a chess clock. Yeah, so you'd score you could, if you were not even just egregiously doing it, you were just honestly, all right, this person double shakes, your turn, this person double shakes, you could easily get to 150 points. And then you turn in your scorecard at the end of the round, you guys Rochambeau in the parking lot for who actually wins the game, and then both of you have infinite tiebreakers.
It's so easy.
Which if someone tries to say nobody would ever do that, bro, let me fucking welcome to competitive Magic. Like, this shit happens constantly.
You're telling me that I can win something, then someone has optimized the fun out of it somewhere.
Yeah. A half dozen 40k tournaments that I know about have had this kind of shit happen. Like, this is 100% a thing that people.
What was it? I read about it. Speaking of 40k tournaments, I did read about one tournament where their opponent deployed in such a way with a unit that the way that the game went is that his entire, it was like Eldar or Tau or some shit. His force was entirely square around the board.
Oh, this is a super old thing. This happened in late 3rd edition.
White Scar versus Kroot.
Yeah, White Scars versus Kroot. So it's Tau versus Space Marines. The White Scars is a special chapter of the Space Marines. They're basically the Mongols, and so they specifically fight using like mounted cavalry, which in 40k results in bikes. And so you have a bunch of bikers. Technically, they can take rhinos with troops in the side as a troop transport, but generally they take bikes. So this person just brought all outflanking bike squads. And so they basically came onto the table through reserves, and they would just walk onto the board. It's important they didn't have any vehicles, because vehicles have a thing called tank shock, but that was not the case. So his opponent just brought 5 squads of Kroot, which are up to 20 man each. So the guy brought 100 Kroot models. And then they can be 2 inches apart, and they have infiltrate, so they can play anywhere on the board, not within 18 inches of an enemy, or 12 inches if they're not in line of sight. But there are no enemy models on the field because he put everything in reserves, which is normally what you want to do so you don't get shot against the Tau army. But when you come on from reserves, you can't be within an inch of an enemy. And so the entire board is lined with Kroot. There's no place for him to legally put his models on the table because he doesn't have any tanks. He can't tank shock through them. So he just, like, as he rolls reserves and he succeeds on reserve rolls, those units die. And so he's like, all right, I rolled 3 of my bike squads come in. Cool, they all die trying to drive over these little chicken fuckers.
Glorious.
Mm-hmm. And there's a hugely famous picture. And they're at the table. There's Kroot lining the board edge all the way around their 6-foot table. There's 2 guys pointing in a rule book, and one of them's the judge. And there's the guy on the side of the table who's clearly the Kroot player, both thumbs up looking at the camera. It's like, I got him. Yeah, it's basically like the Leroy Jenkins story of 40k. Okay, so a couple anecdotes. Let's take a look here. This probably says a lot about our meta, and I'm sure that people know that we like to play the game and not score points and look at the scoreboard. But by far our 2 highest rated missions are Intrusions and Deadline at 7.3 and 7.0 respectively. Our 2 lowest scored missions are Mutant Madman and Superpowered Scoundrels at 3.8 and 3.0 respectively. It actually surprises me that Madman was that low.
It would have been lower if I wasn't insane. So
it would have been higher if Parker wasn't angry. I guess
the most recent loss was probably something on Madman.
Yeah, the 2 I think is pretty harsh, considering I think 1s are reserved for truly awful missions like Paranoia and Samples, and so you have to be like aggressively bad for the game to get a 1 from me.
Yeah,
and so like even Scoundrels I gave a 2, which is. This mission isn't broken. It's just really fucking bad for the game.
Yeah.
But again, that's my perspective, and clearly Will Schick wants every game to end on turn 2, 16-15, so it's a good mission for him. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's kind of where we're at, because, like, what, the lowest secure is 3 points now? Or, it's 3. Meteors, Intrusions.
Yeah, it's 3. Intrusions.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think we've waxed poetic about it, about how we think the game's too fast.
There's 2 3s and 1 5, which equates to like 4.89 or something, is the average number of points, or 3.89. So yeah. Next week we'll be going over our review of the mission pack as a whole. So we'll be talking more about the combination of missions. I was thinking about a fun anecdote I had against Aaron. I played Researcher Extremis. I was playing my Thanos Guardians list at the time, and I did not, because I like to take silly cards, so I had like a bunch of weird shit in my list, and I ended up taking Eye on the Prize because I didn't have a 5th card. And he's like, "You took Eye on the Prize?" I was like, "Yeah." It's like, we're playing researcher. I was like, don't worry, I know. Well aware of that fact, thank you. And he's like, okay. And on turn 3 of the game, Thanos is on 1 health. And I look down at the board and I start smiling, and Aaron's like, what? And I play Eye on the Prize. He looks down at the board. Thanos is like almost exactly 3 inches away from one of the extremist points. And I was like, interact. He's like, fuck you. God. So I interact. I got to interact without moving because I was not within range 1. So then I move and Cosmic Portal myself onto my back point. Interact again, because it doesn't say once per turn, it says may interact at range 2 this turn. So I interact again, not having to move on to the point again, and then Star-Lord on my back point patches me up for 5, I go to full health, and he was like, God damn it. He was so mad.
That's good.
I was like, all day.
All day.
Power play. I knew the whole time.
Just make eye contact the whole time.
Something you're not even expecting.
I'm quite certain nobody else has ever used Eye on the Prize on Extremes before. Anyway, that was a fun game. The other game I really remember playing with that Thanos Guardians list was against Kenny. Kenny played Shadowlands Daredevil, Kingpin, Lizard, Black Cat, and I think Bullseye against me. And so at the end of the round, I look up at him, I'm like, all right, 3-3, and he's like, oh, no, I'm playing Kingpin's leadership. And I look down at the board, I go, 5-1? He's like, yep. I had played the entire round thinking he was playing Daredevil's leadership because he put Daredevil on the left. So obviously he's the leader. And he never corrected me. He let me play the whole round making the worst possible moves. And I just move up to contest each point with one guy.
Jesus.
And so I lose 5-1 on the first round. I think it was like Montesi. And so he's like, do you want to re-rack? I was like, nope, we're going to play this out. And I ended up beating him just barely. It took 5 rounds for me to get that lead back. Oh, it was rough. All right. You guys have anything else to talk about for these missions?
No. I'm looking forward to the full breakdown of everything. Be curious. Are we going to rate them?
No, we've already rated them.
I mean, sorry.
No, we're going to rate them again.
Are we going to... I guess we have the averages.
Yeah, we have
like as a whole. And just be like, here is the average of what we think.
We gave the average extract score was a 5.25. The average secure score was a 5.35. For today, the most cynical person was me. I had an average rating of 5. Zach had the highest average rating of 5.83.
Okay.
And then both, let's see, it was Aaron and CJ at 5.4. Parker was at 4.8, but that's after we messed his numbers up a little bit. And then Josh was at 5.58. So you're actually like dead in the center where you should be. You had the closest to a true average, Josh.
Let's go. I know the most.
Sadly, one of your ratings is invalid because you gave Scoundrels a 1, but it's fine.
You're not supposed to do ones?
I mean, it's fine. Let's see what we do over here. You gave Scientific Samples also a 1. But you gave Spider Infected a 2, so you think Spider Infected is better than Scoundrels? I could see that. It's crazy sometimes because like I never would have expected CJ to give a 9 to Imcron. Like I never would have guessed that.
Really? I thought I talked quite a bit about it. I mean I've ran Imcron for the last. Oh my god! I feel like I ran it in my list for a year since it came out. I basically because Sword was my favorite mission before that. Loved Sword to death. That would be an X-Force were like this. Tight, and that was my favorite mission to play X-Force on because it's like cool 15. I could bring Cable, I could bring X-23, I could bring Domino, I could bring Deadpool. We're set, and then splash in something else. But since it's gone, Imcron has become my favorite, and since they have decided that X-Force only gets the most un-X-Forcey type characters released this year, I think I got 0 X-Force releases this year. Is that right?
Wouldn't surprise me.
That is correct.
Was it, weren't there
New Mutants?
X-Men releases this year?
No.
New Mutants was last year, I'm pretty sure.
We got Mutants, but in Brotherhood.
Oh, yeah.
None of them were X-Force.
Okay. Alright, well, I guess we'll go and wrap it up. Next week, we're going to do, like we said, the mission review. So we'll just talk about, like, all the missions and how they work together as a whole. Interesting combinations that we like, some that we don't like, stuff like that. So... we'll see you next week. This has been Brandon,
Josh,
and CJ.
And you've just listened to Team Parker? So what are we going to call this thing?
I got it. Okay. Incredible, new, fantastic, astonishing, mighty, original, uncanny, sensational podcast.
I'm just going to put down infamous.